Hey everybody, how's it going? I've had a very long week and I have not uploaded at all lately. It's been got a busy life, but I'm grateful for that busy life and all that comes with it. I'd probably be dead if my life was less busy, and I'm not dead, so I must be busy or something like that. Um, something. I was listening to Larkin Rose, who I agree with part of the time, um, and disagree with him part of the time. But if I agree with him, I really agree with him, and when I disagree, I really disagree. Something struck me today that he was talking about, and I my thoughts spiraled. But what he brought up was the fact that Trump went to a libertarian, I don't know, conference or gathering or rally or something. And so he's saying Trump's the furthest thing from a libertarian, which clearly Trump's just a wannabe dictator, like Larkin said. He is a puppet, he is a tyrant, and he is a self serving sociopath. Just because the economy was better while Trump was president does not mean that the economy was better because Trump was president. It's a logical fallacy. That's not my point, though. So, what I started thinking about was why people hate sovereignty so bad. What, even more than flat Earth, something that's derided and mocked more than anything is the idea of what people call a sovereign citizen, which even then that title in itself is mockery, because if you're sovereign, you're not a citizen. If you're a citizen, you're not sovereign. Those are mutually exclusive and polar opposites. Now, why? Why would people have such hatred in their hearts for somebody who wants to be and declares themselves free? That doesn't make any sense to me. Let's see if I can tilt this a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me, because shouldn't everybody want to be free? But golly, you see some of the comments on videos where people are insisting on their right to drive, and it's just the most scathing and venomous and hateful comments. Like, people wish DEATH, fuck you, YouTube, on these guys for just literally sticking up for the rights that they were promised. It's so strange. That's how you know you're surrounded by slaves, I guess. And that's how you know that, unfortunately, people like you and me will never win. This game is rigged. The idea is to win against ourselves, and to learn, I guess, to exist within this fucked up system that we're in, where people cheer for their slavery and loathe the idea of freedom, and even more so, loathe the people who exemplify freedom. If that's you, please explain. Why do you think that's so ridiculous? Why do you just dehumanize people that you call sovereign citizens? Have they harmed you? You wish death upon, not you necessarily. You know, people wish death upon these people for something as silly as driving without a driver's license. How insane is that? I'd argue I'd argue that's inhuman. It's inhuman to feel that way to your fellow man. How should we combat that kind of attitude? And sure, a lot of them could be bots. That could be the case. I guess the idea is to act like they're all bots, and just disregard that attitude. But see, that's just gonna sow more division, because people are just gonna. There's already this. It's like, is there such a schism? Yeah, my voice cracked. It's ridiculous. There is such a schism. We are two societies, two basically warring factions. It's a Cold War, living amongst each other. There's those who still cling to the freedom promised by their forefathers, and those who have come to love their masters and their enslavement. I literally cannot fathom what that feels like. We're all enslaved, I guess, but I've had some experiences in my life which I guess have led me down a path of anti-authoritarian mindset. I've been to jail and I've been abused in those jails. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anymore. But that's what this is leading to. That's what this is. Man, these government officials that these people worship, they just so blatantly hate them. And yet they have their undying devotion. They pray to him like a god. I firmly believe the reason so many people are atheists now is because nobody is atheist. They have just made government their god. I believe that to be the case. And I believe that to be by design, too, clearly. First, not allowing religion to be taught in schools, which to an extent I agree with, but they've done it to a weird extent. And once you give them the power to do that, dude, that's why you cannot give up any freedom. Any right you have, you cannot give it up. Because it will first be just, infringed upon for your own benefit. And then you'll get used to that, just like people got used to the Patriot Act after 9/11. I knew when that happened at the age of 15. At the age of 15, I could see that the Patriot Act was the end of the Constitution. I guess it helped that I was going through constitutional, the American history and all of that at the time, because I saw how badly that violated everything that I was learning. But anyway, so they put something like that in place, and it's to keep you safe, and then they ride it out for a generation. And everybody forgets and gets used to just that being the stasis, that being the norm. Because you know what? People are extremely, extremely good at adapting and making the best of a situation, especially people in large groups. I think when you're isolated, it's a lot easier to see that you're in the middle of a fucked up situation. But people in large groups will just make do, because it's self-preservation. People want to be happy. People want to get by. But, whoa, no. At some point, you gotta